What happens if you hire 50 bodyguards but can't control your own mind? You're protected from the world, but defenseless where it matters most, in the way you think, the way you choose. That's the war most people are losing. The war between desire and discipline, between comfort and becoming who you were meant to be. But what if you could win it by becoming the kind of person who wants what's right? The ancient philosophers fought this same war, and they left behind a map. Today, we follow it. Welcome to the battlefield of the self, a conflict older than the Acropolis, a daily fight, not between nations, but between your higher reason and your lower cravings. The ancient Greeks had a word for this, akrasia, the state of knowing what you should do, but doing the opposite. Sound familiar? This isn't modern, and it isn't just about productivity, it's about identity. Two thinkers, Epictetus and Xenophon, faced this war long before us, and what they discovered might just be the strategy you've been searching for.
This is Timeless Mind, where ancient wisdom clears modern chaos.
You said you get up early, but you hit snooze. You planned to read, but you scrolled. You meant to focus, but you gave in. Again, this isn't laziness, it's something deeper. It's the daily war between who you are and who you're trying to become. And over time, the cost grows. You don't just lose a habit. You lose momentum. You lose confidence. You lose yourself. Not all at once, but piece by piece, day after day, until one day, you barely recognize the person you promised to become. But you're not the first to fight this inner war. The ancient Greeks knew it well, and two of their finest minds, Epictetus and Xenophon, saw it from different angles, but led to the same truth. Where Epictetus taught you to master desire, Xenophon showed how discipline builds leadership. One begins inside, the other reaches outward. Together, they mapped a path out of the fog. Epictetus began with one truth. Most people suffer because they crave control over what was never theirs, fame, possessions, even how others act. But it taught a different kind of power, the power to rule yourself, your thoughts, your choices, your desires. That's where freedom lives, not in what you own, but in what you choose to value. Where Epictetus turned inward, Xenophon looked outward. He saw that self-mastery wasn't just personal. It was essential for those who wanted to lead, in war, in politics, or even in daily life. A man who can't command himself should never command others. Discipline for Xenophon wasn't denial. It was preparation. Prepared to endure hardship, prepared to act with integrity, prepared to lead with courage. Epictetus gave us the foundation. Master the inner world, your thoughts, your desires, your judgments. Xenophon built the bridge. Bring that mastery into the outer world through discipline, leadership, and action. Together they form a complete strategy. Inner control, outer discipline. This is the ancient blueprint, not for being perfect, but for becoming strong enough to choose well, again and again. What do you gain when you choose discipline over desire? You gain freedom, not the freedom to do anything, but the freedom to do what's right, consistently. That's real strength, not in crushing others, but in commanding yourself. This is where the war begins to end, not with noise, but with quiet power. Epictetus taught us, you may not control events, but you can control your response. Xenophon showed us, self-control is not about repression, it's the source of true leadership. Two lives, two paths, one lesson, master yourself, and you shape your world. This war between desire and discipline, it never really ends, but with the right strategy, it becomes winnable. So, here's your call to arms. Don't just fight harder, fight wiser. Use the map the ancients left behind, and make your next decision a disciplined one. If this message sparked something in you, subscribe for more ancient strategies to master your modern life, and share this video with someone fighting their own inner war. Let's grow wiser together. So, what do you really win when you start choosing discipline over desire? The Stoics had a word for it: ataraxia, deep, resilient peace. Epictetus said, freedom is the only worthy goal in life. It is won by disregarding things that lie beyond our control. This is the true reward of the inner war, not perfection, but peace, a mind that doesn't obey every craving, a heart that doesn't break with every shift in fortune. You still feel joy, you still feel pain, but neither owns you. This is freedom, not from life, but from its tyranny. The freedom to respond instead of react, to live by values instead of urges, to act with intention, even under pressure. And that's where the war becomes something more. Not a constant struggle, but a source of strength. Not a battlefield, but a training ground for becoming unshakable. Not the fleeting thrill of indulgence, not the loud applause of the world, but a calm that doesn't collapse when the world stops clapping. Xenophon had seen men crumble, not from weakness of the body, but from a lack of command within. He learned that a leader doesn't just direct others, he directs himself, especially when the fear comes, when the desire to quit whispers louder than reason. That's when strength is tested. That's when discipline becomes destiny. The war between desire and discipline is as old as humanity itself, but so is the wisdom to win it. Epictetus and Xenophon didn't offer magic formulas. They offered tools to reflect, to reframe, to reclaim what we can control, not to live without emotion, but to live without being ruled by it. Not to escape life, but to meet it with reason, with clarity, with strength. This isn't just philosophy, it's a path, one you walk a little every day, one that starts right here with your next choice. And if you're ready to master your impulses, ready to build your strength from within, then walk with us